Hi, everybody. It's Linda and Sterline.
Good morning.
And thank you guys for all your questions. The love he can feel, I'll tell you right now. But listen, do us a favor. It's easier for them to get the questions off YouTube. So a lot of people are sending me emails, and then I have to forward the emails, and it doesn't get to him like if you just, when I do the announcement that Sterling is going to be here Sunday, if you guys start asking your questions on there. And also,
I was going to say, yeah, and one point of clarification, it's actually on your community section on your YouTube channel.
there
So
you
go
go.
to the community section, and that's where you put the questions.
Now, if you are a subscriber, you'll get to look at the community. I put jokes on there, but every week I always say, oh, Sterling's coming. Knock, knock, who's there? And also,
Exactly.
there are some things we want to make clear. Sterling does not answer.
Oh, yeah, I think you and I were talking about this, that as a rule, we really don't get involved in investment questions, especially around the stock
That makes sense.
market. Because, you know, a lot of volatility, and it almost gets close to gambling and lottery and that kind of a thing. And so the guys usually don't get involved in that area.
Well, you know what happened to Edgar Casey? He
Which
tried
story?
to do that. He tried to help friends, even with oil, and he was never right on that. It's almost like he got punished for it. So yeah,
right.
I can tell you energetically when I'm feeling stuff happening, but I can't individually answer questions. Okay, my friend. So let's go. From the other side, can you tell us if Steve Jobs has any messages for us?
You know, and this is a great question because Steve's come through a couple of times, and you know, one of the things he comes through really clear on about is that a lot of the products he developed, he wanted to appeal to the masses, but across kind of every race and gender and sexual orientation. You could tell when he launched iTunes, really a big push around urban music, and so he really wanted all of his products to go across kind of everybody in mankind. And a little disappointed with all the race problems going on. So that was one thing that, you know, he really tried to push. I'd tell you two other things come through for Steve is that he felt that long term, he got a lot of his ideas through channeling, through spiritual guidance. So they would come to him. He did.
Was he conscious of it, or he?
Not in the beginning. In the beginning, he kind of felt because of ego, it was him. And then as time went on, he kind of learned as he got into more Eastern philosophy. Remember, towards the end of his life, he realized where a lot of the ideas came from. Yeah, but he felt that he could advance communication with devices using neural technology, and then he also felt that at some point in the future he could somehow harness time. So maybe be able to adjust time, which is kind of interesting. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Paul McCartney too. He would just dream songs.
Right.
Like it's like certain guides are like right on you.
And by the way, I tell people all the time that the portion of the mind that communicates with the other side is very closely associated with creativity and imagination. So it's that portion of the mind that really is very close. The veil is very close over there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So is there a reason why? Just how do you say her name? Just Lane? Maxwell?
Is it Ghislaine Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell was suddenly arrested at this time. Will she turn state's evidence? Will she bring Trump down? That's three questions in one.
It is, yeah. For me, her life's been threatened pretty seriously. So she has a lot of information, black books, a lot of written information, a lot of information she knows, and her life's been threatened. And I felt that
already, or all this time. Like
already.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually coming from around the world because she's got she knows where a lot of the bodies are buried, a lot where the money laundering is. And I felt she reached out at some point to the U.S. government to try and negotiate a deal for protection. So I think that's ongoing right now. I know that she got arrested in the news, but I felt that already had her attorneys reaching out to the government to say, is there some deal we can strike for protection? So that's ongoing, yeah.
But isn't Barr trying to get to her?
He is among many parties, right? I think the Russian government's trying to get to her. Many parties trying to reach out to her because they want to get a gag order.
Right.
So.
Well, I never saw her having the same fate as Epstein. I see her being an old woman. I literally physically could see her with gray hair, very
Right.
gray hair, and an old woman, and kind of like not liked.
Yeah, she's going to make it through without being taken out, so to speak. But
Right. She
she'll have a very complex life
right.
going forward here. Yeah.
Will Republican Tucker Carlson run for president in 2024?
I think he'll have an exploratory committee, but he won't make a run. So I think the exploratory committee will probably sink his desire to do it.
Yeah. I do feel like anybody involved with Trump down the road here, due to the horrible things that are coming out, you know, they kind of ruined their chances because they stood behind this fake president.
Right,
Okay,
right.
that's my opinion. Okay. Will we ever have an immigration policy that is fair and just for all?
Yes, but it's like 4 years, about 4 years out. But what's good about it is it's going to be really have two major legs to it. One will be a path to citizenship for those that are here, and then the other will be a more fair immigration policy from those coming from outside the U.S. So it's going to have two very strong legs to it, which is
It
what
feels
everybody's
like
fighting about.
they'll keep looking at it. Like they're not gonna, it's not gonna be haphazard. It's gonna have a definite.
Yeah,
a
and I feel
definite
that's why it's
how
going to
you
take
have
4 years.
right.
Yeah, 4 years to
Okay.
do. You know.
Right, right. Why did Trump fire Attorney General Jeffrey Berman?
Way too close to the Russia investigation. So really very close to being able to provide a lot more nails in the coffin, so to speak, around Russian collusion, Russian money laundering, and Russian influence in the election. Yeah.
Did this Maxine have anything to do with it?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, she knows. She's on the same trail of information and corruption that even Roger Stone's on. So
Okay. Because I will tell you that he was actually a Trump person. He voted for Trump. He gave money to Trump. And he gets in there, and I think he saw so much it actually turned him.
yeah, and interestingly enough, I mean, everybody has a conscience, but also everybody. I see a lot of good families being supportive. So almost like his wife was like, "You have to do the right thing."
Got to
You
do
know
the
what I
right
mean?
thing.
So,
Step up to the plate, because he's like shocked. I almost felt shocked.
right.
Okay, why hasn't Trump addressed Russia about the bounties on American soldiers? So sad.
Yeah. You know, that has a lot to do with deals that Trump has made with Putin, and the fact that you know, Putin obviously was trying to get more leverage over Afghanistan, which is what was going on there.
Right.
But I feel like these mercenary killings are actually happening around the world, not just Afghanistan. So I
Right.
think that you know, it's Putin trying to get more leverage over certain areas of the world, and Trump doesn't feel he can go on there head to head and try to fight that off. You know.
And what's weird is I got a hit that Trump knew about this. Putin discussed it with him, and I almost feel like Putin presented it like, and then that's why Trump wanted to meet with the Taliban, because he wanted them to. They all discuss how Trump will end up looking like the hero for voting purposes.
Right.
Okay. Right. Is Trump removing troops from Germany so Russia can invade? Sorry about that ding. Anytime someone opens the door, I feel like I'm at a shopping mall or in Macy's, and you hear ding, 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 ding. I never knew what that was about.
I was wondering where that came from. Yeah. Ask the question again, because I think I got sidetracked with your.
Is Trump removing troops from Germany so Russia can invade?
Got it. You know what's behind that is kind of a really stupid ploy. So I think Trump is doing it under the guise of you know, they're not paying enough with NATO, so that's why he's, you know, removing troops. But because his foreign policy is so bad, it's providing kind of an entrance door for Putin. So it's just like I guess it's dumb luck for Putin that that's what he's doing. But he's doing it because he feels, you know, they're not contributing enough to NATO. So.
Oh, okay. But he's not going to get anything accomplished. He doesn't.
No.
He's going to lose badly, and then he's here. Okay. Will Congress and the Senate address the weaknesses in the Constitution so we don't experience the same issues we are having now? That's a
I
good.
think that relates to the election, Electoral College is the way I read that possibly. And I do believe the Electoral College will be replaced by the popular vote, but it's like 4 years out. So they will go back through the Constitution and vote on it and modify it a bit, because Electoral College is way out of whack with current,
Right,
current thinking and current society. Yeah.
right, right. Is Planet X real?
It is real. That's a very large planet that's beyond Pluto, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So it absolutely is real. What's interesting about it is we can't reach it with conventional technology. But what will happen is that once we finally get more information on Planet X, I feel it's going to open things up more for the galaxy. We'll understand the galaxy better. So Planet X is out there. Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
wow. I've never even heard of it. I'll look it up. I'll Google it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will it be safe to send children back to school?
That's a phased approach. So I feel almost nationwide for the fall semester, it's much more of a remote thing for school, all very remote learning. And then when you get into the winter semester, I feel there's going to be a lot more schools opening up, and then you'd be much more in person. But I feel now, and I've always felt, that it's going to be highly dependent on ultraviolet technology, UVC technology, of being able to scrub the schools with almost to have UVC robots that actually will move through the school with these very large lamps. And so they have to decontaminate the school, but they can't do it now.
Yeah, but it's funny you're saying that, because I almost had a psychic flash, like a short vision. But because of this COVID, it feels like we'll always kind of be this way now. We'll always be very conscious of passing, disease.
This is the new normal. Yeah.
Right. I think they followed this when TB was running around.
Mhm.
Okay. Will guns be replaced in the near future with a safer alternative?
Not replaced, but what I do see is a lot more biometric technology being used with guns. So I think the good thing here is that it'll be fingerprint technology that'll be implemented with guns. And so right now it's a little expensive, a little hard to do. I think it's going to come down the cost curve. But the first biggest benefit, believe it or not, to this technology will be a reduction in suicides, because you won't be able to use the gun unless you're the gun owner and the fingerprint sensor works with the gun.
Oh, wow. That's
So I think that if you have a criminal mind, you'll figure out how to get around it anyway.
right.
But for a lot of the suicides that are more almost in a very emotional state, where you grab your parent's gun or whatever this is, you won't be able to do it. So yeah.
That's a good,
So
or a little kid picking up the gun. They won't be.
that too. Yeah.
Okay. What guns we replacing? Is it more spiritual to eat plants than animals? Question mark.
Hmm. Well, all animals come down with a purpose. So some do have a purpose, they fulfill spiritually or otherwise. But I think a large part of the population in like 15 years will be very much plant-based diet. As
That's
soon
what
as
I'm feeling
like
too.
15 years,
I see
plant-based. Yeah.
videos of cows that love their people, that they
Hmm.
running up and giving them hugs, and it's like, oh my God. Ducks,
Right.
I see. So yeah, I think so too. Okay, what will happen to Roger Stone and Michael Flynn?
Michael Flynn, I still see, and I think we talked about this last Sunday, it's still going to go to trial. So he's still going to be brought up on the charges he pleaded guilty to.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. Roger Stone, unfortunately, he's almost got the same problem that Miss Maxwell has, which is that people after him. People. I think his life is in danger. So
But
he's got.
he's standing with the sword, so he must act like he's got some way to get rid of you.
Yeah, he certainly has that belief. Let's put it that way. Now, where that belief translates into reality, we'll see. But I do feel that there are people that are after him, just like they are Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Isn't that something? Will they get to him, you think, or?
going to get very close. You know, for me, it's hard to see, but it's going to get. I do see an attempt. I'll tell you that.
I see him threatening Trump all the time. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
And it could even be people that love Trump that are going to get rid of him or try to. How does the month of August look for Trump?
A lot of volatility. And but what I mean by that is it looks like, he's collapsing before our eyes.
Right.
So it's almost every day that goes by. I'm not sure if you saw the last couple of speeches he's done, but he's collapsing before our eyes. And I think even some people in the Republican Party are saying, what? So
they're trying to get rid of our heroes. He's doing an executive order to open a park for all those Confederate statues. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, and I think that I still saw a lot of difficulty for him around the convention. And I'll say that weeks ago, my guide said he doesn't make it to the convention.
When is the convention, if you remember?
It's either, I think it's August 24th. I think 24th. Well, one of them is August, the beginning of August, and the other one's the end of August. I think the Republican is the end of August.
Okay.
I think I might have that flip-flop going from memory. Yeah. But it feels like something happens like where the Republican Party starts to say, you're not going to make it. We need to shift horses. Maybe that's where Pence comes in. And
we've got Mary Trump's book. We've got the SCOTUS coming out with an opinion this week that may.
Right.
And we've also got Cohen's book, Michael Cohen book. Well, that won't come out till September, but blurbs of it will get out.
I always felt that there'd be a chapter in the Cohen book released though before the convention. There'd be a teaser chapter. So
right. And by the way, just now on the news, Florida's kind of putting everybody on hold, saying we don't know if we can do the Republican convention. Because remember
a couple of weeks ago, we were looking at Texas and Florida, and I said they're going to be just through the roof.
Yeah. When this virus came out, I remember pointing to Texas and Florida and New York and California. And California, fortunately, up here, but down in Southern California, it's bad.
Right.
Okay, so thank you. Do you see any medical advancements regarding cancer?
I do, and this gets around gene splicing. So there's gene splicing technology coming up for a lot of different diseases. Around cancer, though, it feels like they have developments in cancer almost in stages. So there's different forms of cancer in the body. Yeah. So it's almost like as they use gene splicing technology, maybe they figure out ovarian cancer, then lung cancer, then esophageal cancer. So it looks like it's 10 to 15-year road kind of a thing as they one by one address all the different cancers. So
okay, that's good news.
Yeah.
Do you have any insight regarding the Lincoln Project?
Yeah, they're a bit of a loose cannon, but interestingly enough, they're very targeted on, of course, not getting our 45 back in the White House. That's for sure. Right. But I do see them next year almost getting twice the funding. So they're still going to be a factor. The political landscape right now, they're helping a bit, so they're helping the cause for Biden. So
yeah, but I bet Trump hates them.
Oh yeah, a lot of funny videos, as you've seen, a lot of funny things coming out from them.
I know they hit him below the belt, and I've seen his commercials, nothing burgers. Oh well, there's a weird look on Biden's face, and he's not appropriate. Well, we can run a whole bunch of stuff on you, buddy. How you can't even go downstairs. They showed pictures of Obama and Biden running up those stairs.
Right.
Okay, we learn a lot of lessons from animals. Do they learn lessons from us? That's a good question.
Yeah, they do. They're angels on earth. They're part of the angelic realm. Animals are, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're
because they are angelic.
They're
There's
very.
some mean ones out there, though.
There are, but they're an evolved spirit, animals, and they do learn from the things that we go through. But they're also trying to help us through all those things. So a little bit of give and take. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to look at that more. Can we reincarnate to other dimensions?
You can, but it's like a university. So you don't necessarily go from your sophomore year to your graduating year. So you go through stages in number of lives, and
Mm,
as you evolve, you get to a point where you absolutely can, if you want to evolve to another dimension, you can. But
right.
it's a staging process. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know dimensions in planetary too. I've often felt there's some people that are here on Earth right now that are new beginners in the human form, and I can see it when I start to read them.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
how can a person tell if they're being visited by a spirit guide and or alien?
So spirit guides resonate with your soul. So they resonate in a way that's different and very unique, and you know that. If you encounter an alien, it's much like meeting somebody from another dimension, but it's almost like meeting another person. So they don't resonate with your soul, and people normally can tell the difference. If you put somebody in a room with both, an alien and your guide or an angel, you can tell the difference.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's yeah.
Okay. And why are people disappearing from national parks? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's been ongoing for years. Combination of factors there. I mean, there's actually some, I guess I'll call them serial killers. There's a few serial killers loose in the national parks. And then
Oh,
there's also there are a few abductions. So there are a number of things going on. It's not just one thing. Yeah. Also, there's some people dying in the national parks, just, through natural causes or mistakes they make,
right.
to fall
Slip
into a
and
ravine
fall.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
And
yeah,
they just happen to not find the bodies
yeah.
because the animals get to them.
That too. Yeah. So a lot of factors there. Yeah.
Will Obamacare cover future medical expenses arising from COVID?
It will, and right now in its current state, it needs some more funding and some more work, but that'll happen in the Biden presidency. So they'll actually reinforce the whole ACA, right? The Affordable Care Act and Obamacare, and they will reinforce it till we'll cover. Yeah.
Okay. What is the Chicago Mothman?
A lot of reported sightings on that. That's all. That's also an alien life form. That's an alien life form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the significance of continuously seeing repeating numbers?
Yes, in a good way, that means that whoever is seeing the numbers, first off, you're awakening to your guides and your kind of your angels trying to talk with you. So that's an awakening and an awareness. And then the numbers have a pretty reliable interpretation. There's some good people on the internet that interpret them.
Yeah, I saw
Five,
that. Yeah,
yeah, five means major change, and
right.
one means stay positive, and I think three means your archangels are with you. But there's some good resources on the internet, but
Yeah,
they do
that's
need
what I
more
tell
work on.
people to look at the internet. And a lot of them are numerologists, so they understand numbers.
Right, right.
Can you tell the effect Karl Rove will have on the president's campaign, if any?
Uh, Nearly none, and the reason that's the case, is that there's going to be a butting of the heads with Trump. So it's almost like a difference in where he thinks Trump's gone afoul, and it's a disagreement on how to correct that. So nearly zero is what I get.
That's what I was feeling too when they brought it up. I felt like, oh, he's going to get in there and he can't get behind pushing him because he doesn't respect him. He doesn't know who he is.
Right.
Will student loan debt be reduced or forgiven by the new administration?
And who was that again? I missed the name.
Student loan debt, will that be reduced?
Oh, got it. Yes, and I think that's going to be handled in two different ways. For me, it looks like for those, let's say, that are 70% paid in, paid down, there'll be forgiveness. And for those, let's say, are at 60% level of pay in, pay off, they're going to be some sort of an accelerated program. So they're going to take that in kind of two different tranches. If you get a certain payoff amount, we'll call it forgiven, you're done. And then if it's not, they'll help you accelerate through it. So that's going to happen as well too. Yeah.
The whole thing is going to change. I think it'll be back to how it used to be and
Right.
much easier and less interest.
Mhm.
Who made the statues on Easter Island?
So that's a combination of a number of civilizations, as well as some assistance from our alien friends. And I feel like a lot of those are buried even beneath the ground. So as many as you can see above ground, there's like triple that many buried below ground.
Oh yeah,
So
they said that those things are huge because if you were to
yeah,
go down, yeah, we just
so
got the
there,
heads, the top of the heads,
yeah.
and that has to have been on the earth for a long time.
Yeah, I feel there were many tribes that were involved in that, many civilizations that were involved in those. Yeah.
So was it UFOs came down and built them? It was the tribes,
It was for the most part, but they had some guidance from the aliens about how to do it.
but just like with the pyramids, I think.
Right, exactly.
Will North America revert back to gold standard?
It will. It will. Years ago, we got rid of referencing the dollar to the gold standard, but that's going to come back over the next number of years. The reason for that is to try to control volatility, as well as all the way the stock market was propped up by the insurgence of Russian and Chinese money. So it was the manipulation of the stock market and our financial market. So they will go back to the gold standard. They will.
Okay, great. And will virtual reality be available for consumer use?
Yes, that actually already is. But what I see coming in the future is actually beyond what I'll call virtual reality, because right now it's expensive, but it's more for location-based entertainment, for shopping malls and theme parks. But what is coming down the road is holographic technology, so that, for example, if you want to see a concert in your living room, you'll be able to see them in your living room without goggles, without glasses. Now, it's probably
Wow.
a 10-year horizon to get this done, but I feel like, and I just got a cold chill, which is a confirmation, is that it's holographic technology that'll really take everything to the next level. Grandma won't have to wear a big heavy set of goggles to see VR and that kind of thing.
Right, but then these entertainers can make more money.
Right.
Everybody all over the world can be part of the crowd.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can animals read our thoughts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they vibrate at a higher vibrational level. They even communicate with each other, reading each other's thoughts. If you see dogs, or cats near each other. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you see anything coming up this week that's significant?
Yeah, I think one of the things. I mean, Trump's still got a lot of chaos going on in the White House, and I think there's more documents and more backroom negotiations going on. But I also see Mary Trump's book moving forward very aggressively in a good way. So it's almost like she's getting ready to launch. Now, I think they may have set a launch date. Was that September?
July 28th.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. So I do see like big progress in that area too. Yeah.
Oh, is he upset? May I ask? Is he totally freaked out?
The only thing better than a Mary Trump book would be an autographed Trump copy of a Mary Trump book. That would be a real keepsake. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that, they tried their damnedest saying she signed a, what is it?
NDA, or yeah.
And when they went back to court, she has some fantastic attorneys. I guess they knew this was coming. How she was able to say that NDA is irrelevant is because he lied about what was in the NDA.
Right.
He lied about the monies involved. He lied about everything. So basically, they said, you lied. This thing is nonsense. And the judge agreed.
Right. Yeah.
So last but not least, do you guys have a message for us?
Yes. Has a lot to do with be careful of your thoughts, because your internal thoughts not only orchestrate kind of how you move through life, but how you affect other people. So thoughts are energy. So be very, very careful with your thoughts.
Even with our hate for Trump.
Maintain that positivity. Exactly. Thoughts are very powerful, and influence yourself and your own destiny and how you manifest, but other people around you. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's interesting when you do readings and when I do readings, a lot of people have this, first of all, resistance and and going through these heartaches helps make you a better person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that are agreements before you got here that you were supposed, but if you really hit people about, well, who are you? What are you thinking? You can pinpoint why they can keep creating more of the same.
Right.
Even
And,
a bad childhood will break an energy form. If you constantly think you're no good, if you constantly think you have no money, you keep creating more of the same.
exactly. And so that's the core message, is thoughts are so important for how you manifest and how you create goodwill with yourself. And
Exactly.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, my friend. Well, it was wonderful seeing
All right.
you again. We'll be back again. Everybody totally enjoys this.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure. And if anybody needs to reach me, it's sterlingpsychicmedium.com. So
Yeah, I'll put that on below. And also, your wife put a nice note on here. .com.
mhm.
The cell phone, she reminded people to go to YouTube app, hit subscriptions, then Linda G, then tap on community, and then find when Linda states Sterling this Sunday.
Yeah, and that's kind of repeating the message at the top of the show, just
Right.
people to put the questions on a community page, because I think they're coming from all different directions.
Right,
Right.
and I'm forwarding. See, Dan is the one who kind of oversees this project
Right.
for
Right.
me and for you guys, but he's out of town. Hi, Dan. Hope you're having a good time. So
Shout out to Dan for all his good
yeah,
help.
but
Yeah.
your wife took it up and she was happy to do it. But
And
then,
my wife, Linda.
yes, your wife, Linda, and which is a high class name, by the way. And then she kept, I kept forwarding her all these emails and she's like, what? You guys have to do it on the community channel and we'll get her done.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Pleasure. Thanks.
Bye, you guys.